Hello, my name is Cheyenne and welcome back to another nail art tutorial. Today I'm going to be creating this Mashle inspired look. Each nail is inspired by one of the markings of the characters in Mashle Magic and Muscles. Starting with my base color, I'm going to be using Demeter's Harvest. This is a yellow with a greeny, almost orangey sometimes shimmer that runs through it. I usually see it more green than orange though. And I thought it would be the perfect color for the base of this manicure because a lot of the characters in the show have yellow hair highlights or eye colors, and in the most recent season of Mashle, yellow is a very predominant color used in their intro song. So I thought it would be a perfect option. And I am top coating this. It originally is because I thought I wasn't going to have time to paint all of my nails, but it actually ended up working in my favor, and I'll get more into that later. So this is my new nail polish thinner that I bought from KB Shimmer, and I'm adding it to my Revlon Knockout polish. It is just a black cream polish that has just been way too thick, and I am just adding a few drops at a time and mixing it until I'm getting the consistency that I want. Over the past few months, I have been using a black acrylic polish to do detail work like this, but I just wanted to show that you can use just regular nail polish to also create pretty sharp lines, just like as you would with acrylic paint. And personally, I actually prefer using nail polish because I just think it's more durable. But yeah, I'm going and adding more drops to the bottle and mixing it up until I got the right consistency. This is hard to explain, but when doing a straight line on your nail, I recommend using the full length of the brush and pressing it down and dragging it. It's much more efficient this way. This nail is inspired by Rain, one of Mashle's close friends and also his roommate. It just has a simple line down one side of his face. On my ring finger, I'll be doing the design of dots marking. It is a zigzag design with a straight line at the end of it, point horizontal to the zigzag. And notice how I'm using just the tip of my brush here. I'm not using the full length of my brush, by just using the tip of the brush. I have better control over how long I want each line to be. I am actually going to mess up on this nail, and I will show you how to fix that. Right there, it starts to get a little bit messy at the tip of that angle. So it is a good thing that I put down a clear coat earlier. Normally I do that because sometimes I'm in a rush in manicure and I don't know if I'm going to have time to do all of my nail art. So securing at least the base color with a top coat gives me the opportunity to pause my manicure sooner and resume doing it later. But in this case, I just kept going once I was done putting my top coat down. And by putting that top coat down, it does create a barrier between your base color and your nail art and protects that base color for if you were to mess up. And I'm going to be going in with just a little bit of acetone on my brush to just clean up those edges. I really can't stress this enough to only use a tiny bit of acetone at a time. I've made the mistake before of using a lot of acetone, and it then can ruin not just that top coat, but also your underlayer at the same time. So just only use a little bit at a time and just slowly work at it. I like to also just clean my brush a little bit each time before I go back in to try to remove some of that excess polish. And now it looks much better, doesn't it? Next, I'm going to be doing Mashle's design. He is the main character, so I thought it made sense to keep him on my middle finger. I'm going to be creating two lines, both of them reaching about a little bit more than the middle point of my nail, and they should be parallel to each other. And I'm now going to go in and attach those two endpoints to create that lightning bolt design. Next, I'm going to be creating Lemon's little mark on her face, and notice how again I'm trying to use the full length of my brush. I would recommend when doing designs like this, try to get as close to your nail edge as possible, because if there's a weird gap, that's not going to look very good, and you could always clean up the edge later with acetone. As you can see, I'm now going in and creating her little crescent moon shape that attaches to that main stem. And I'm just using the tip of my brush, again, not the full length. and I am being a little bit slow with it. I am making this really tight, curved shape, so I was taking my time with it. Turned out pretty good. Lastly, another easy nail is doing Lane's face marking. I'm just going and creating 2 long black stripes. Dots and Lemon's designs were probably the hardest out of the bunch to do. Now, I forgot to record myself doing this, but once I was done with putting down my nail art with these black lines, I did, of course, put on a quick dry top coat. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you love Mashle, let me know in the comments. I think it is such a funny show. I highly recommend it. I post nail art tutorials every Saturday. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!